Yeah, like me, I'm outside of boxing. You probably, I mean, if you saw me walking down the street, you probably think the last thing you think I was a fighter. Even most, like even now, like just even as recent as a year ago, like we be out. I can remember getting ready for a PBC card. We were getting ready to fight on the Julian Williams, Carlos Adames undercard. And I'm walking around with my team. I got my strength and conditioning coach. He's one of my old friends from way back in the day. So we about around the same age. We walking together to the meeting room for the weigh-in. Sam Watson comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, you thinking he was the fighter? Like me, he thought like I was just like part of the team."
He is the former WBC, US NBC light heavyweight champion.
Checkmate.
The former USBA light heavyweight champion.
Checkmate.
Final
And the
round.
former WBC Continental America's light heavyweight champion.
Checkmate.
Final
He
round.
is your host, Cedric Agnew.
Can I get the D out? Yeah.
What's going on, my boy?
Just chilling. Like I said, just got home from doing some work.
That's
Same old
what's up,
same.
man. That's what's up. That's what's up, man.
Yeah,
Well,
back home, family.
I'm saying that's my boy. I call him $1 billion B, man. You know what I'm saying he got all the bright ideas, man. You know what I
Nice to
mean?
meet you. Nice to meet you, Shawn.
Good to meet you, man. Appreciate y'all having me on.
Oh, no problem, man. This. I felt like I told him I felt like this right here. This was a must, man.
For
Because
sure.
like, I don't know, like this was like some years back when we started like following each other on social media, and
Uh-huh.
when we started following each other, like honestly, I didn't know who you was, man. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, looking at your content, I'm like, he's another promising boxer. You know what I'm saying? Undefeated cat. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man. And I think we started following each other when I was still in the game, though. You know what I mean? And
Uh-huh.
and I was like, man, he like a very promising cat. And I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I will say, he's a super middleweight. So I'm like, I, I might want to stay on the lookout for him because I'm just saying he might be just inching up to like heavyweight, and those might be one of the names somebody's trying to call out. But I'm like, who knows? You know what I'm saying, but before I start this podcast, I do want to say, cause like I was telling my boy B, man, I say, man, Shawn did some great things. He even fought one of the cats who I used to spar. I forgot his name, but it was the fight was in Houston. He was an African cat.
Oh, Kasimu.
Yeah. He fought him. I'm like, man, and he did great work in the fight. But then he fought Diego Pacheco. He didn't know who you fought. I'm like, he fought Diego Pacheco, and a lot of people
Well,
wasn't even.
hold on now. Let him know I'm a casual,
Oh
Shawn.
yeah,
So
yeah. Hey, I gotta start off with that. You know what I'm saying? Because people be misunderstanding. But no, B, he's like a super casual. So when it comes to like the boxing insights, the ins and outs of this game, no, he don't. Hey, clueless. You know what I'm saying? But he gonna have those casual questions for you. But I was like, Shawn did good work, man. Even when he fought Pacheco, lots of people wasn't giving him a chance. Lots of people was looking at him like he's like a no name, and Diego
Right.
Pacheco's gonna run right through this guy. But I'm like, from what I've seen from Shawn so far, no, he's not gonna just run right through him. Because honestly, I wasn't thinking that highly of Pacheco. I looked at him like any other fighter out there. He can be beat, man. And all it takes for the right night, it can be anybody night, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
anybody can be beat. But I will say, you know what I'm saying, I won't start this show off without giving my man Shawn. Uh how you pronounce your last name? McCalman? McCalman?
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, Shawn McCalman. I won't start it off without giving him his flowers. We got to, man. We got to. I appreciate and like I said, I definitely appreciate you for coming on, man. But
Yeah, most definitely.
like I said, he's the casual, so he gonna have hella questions for you, my boy. You know what I mean?
Hey, that's what I'm here for.
nah, for real though, Shawn. I did a lot of research, was looking you up and stuff before the interview. But yeah, I definitely want to give you your flowers because man, you took like the narrow path of hard work and discipline, and you know what I'm saying. And you're something that youngsters can aspire to be. We around these young boxers and stuff out here in Houston, so I really do want to give you your flowers, bro. But I want to
Thank you, man.
start with a line of questioning, like uh to kind of reveal the man behind the boxer. So like if we were looking back at the 13-year-old Shawn before he became the best kept secret, what was he looking through them eyes? Like what was that 13-year-old kid dreaming?
Uh, as a 13-year-old, man, honestly, I had plans to go into the NFL. I was like knee deep in football and that. Like, I had my entire future and my entire life planned around football. So I guess, I mean, for me, like, I always know I wanted to be a professional athlete.
Hmm.
I figured that I'd be doing it in football because that was where like my mind was at the time and where my focus was at the time. But yeah, as a 13-year-old, yeah, like I said, other than that, like, I just living life as a kid, like, uh, girls, football, friends, like just trying to have fun and, you know, doing the things that young boys do.
Yeah, I
But,
saw that you were a quarterback, and I also saw that you did some taekwondo. So what is how does the quarterback, the taekwondo practitioner, and the boxer, what do they all have in common? You know what I'm saying? What makes them you know similar? How do they correlate?
I will say that, the things that, uh, translate from each of those roles that I played, like leading into
Hmm.
this was that, they all like had a sense of being like very cerebral. Like, of course, as a quarterback, you got to be the thinker on the field. If nobody else is, using their brain on the field, the quarterback is. I got to hold a lot
Okay.
of information up top, remembering the plays, reading defenses, like breaking things down before the action starts. And then even the same thing in Taekwondo, a lot of it, like even more so than the physical aspect of Taekwondo, like they taught us a lot about meditation, like incense and kneeling in the dojo and breathing techniques and, just visualization, I guess. It was a lot of like mind, body, soul
Mm,
connection type of deal. So that was the thing I appreciated about Taekwondo that kind of has made me a better fighter. And then, like I said, in football, of course, you got to have that dog in you if you're a football player. So, and then on top of that, being the quarterback, so you got to have like a balance of dog as well as like intelligence. So I think that I mixed that up perfectly in my boxing style. Like I'm smart, but if we got to go, if push come to shove, then I can get dirty with you. I can do whatever needs to be done to win.
most def. Yeah, I seen that Ohm symbol. I got the same tattoo, and I was like, oh,
Uh,
so my guy must have something to do with meditation or qigong or dealing with some of that type of energy.
yeah, like me, I'm outside of boxing. Like you probably, I mean, if you saw me walking down the street, you probably think the last thing you think I was a fighter. Even most, like even now, like just even as recent as a year ago, like we be out. I can remember getting ready for a PBC card. We were getting ready to fight on the Julian Williams, Carlos Adames undercard. And I'm walking around with my team. I got my strength and conditioning coach. He's one of my old friends from way back in the day. So we about around the same age. We walking together to the meeting room for the weigh-in. Sam Watson comes up to him and he's like, "Hey, you thinking he was the fighter? Like me, he thought like I was just like part of the team. Like you look at me or you listen to me speak, and most people don't assume fighter or see
Right,
fighter. But like I said, you got to have that. It's a balance. You can't look at a person and see like, oh, they got that dog in them, or you look at a person and see like the struggles they've been through, or look at a person and see like, what their mental and testicular fortitude is. You can't assume that just by looks. So like me, I
right.
wear glasses, I got the dreadlocks, I take my shirt off, I got the esoteric tattoos and stuff. But like I said, push come to shove, I mean, people see what I can do when it's time to when that bell ring.
Most
And that's
definitely.
all that matters. That's
Right.
definitely all that matters. Uh, one of the questions I wanted to ask you, I'm saying, because when he revealed to me that you was quarterback and you did the taekwondo, like if that's what you started out with, I'm saying, like what got you into boxing?
Um, Honestly, I still like that's a question that's hard for me to answer because it's one of those things where like I just knew. Like I said, I got a combat sports background. I got three brothers. we fight all day long, fought all day long.
Yeah.
So yeah, like fighting is just a thing that just came natural to me. I knew once, like after my first year, excuse me, after my first year in college, I knew I wasn't going back. I knew I didn't want to play football anymore. So I was like, the idea just popped into my head. I don't know if it was implanted there by something else or, I can't tell you what it is, but something told me try boxing, and here we are.
Mm.
So
Did you
yeah,
fight in any?
to me.
Did you fight in any of the those amateur tournaments?
Yeah, I won the state Golden Gloves 3 times. Our regional rival is New Mexico. I won that 3 times, and then I competed at the nationals, and then um, I made some pretty decent runs at the nationals, but I think things out of my control kind of knocked me off my square when it came to like the national tournaments. You know how it is coming from, depending on what area of the country you come from, you probably get a little more love than others. But
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
yeah,
I mean,
so yeah, I've competed in national tournaments, things of that nature. I had about 75 amateur fights. Like once I hit the ground, like I hit the ground running. I had my first
right.
amateur fight maybe like 2, 3 months into ever walking into a gym.
Wow. What's the boxing community like out there? You're in Aurora or Denver?
Yeah, Aurora, Denver, same. I
Okay.
mean, it's all the same. But yeah, I would say it's very small.
Mm.
There's lots of like for a guy like me, like I'm on the bigger end of like the professional boxing like weight scale. I'm a super middleweight. It ain't too many guys around here like at the 68, 75 cruiserweight mark. It's either like guys are like heavyweight, super heavyweight, and then like 135, 147 down. So it's not too many guys like at my weight around here.
Mm.
But yeah, the boxing community is real small. Like I've trained at a few different gyms over the years, and like everybody, from gym to gym, they all know each other. All the fighters know each other. All the trainers know each other. Little beefs here and there. Uh, but yeah, small community.
So when you go to like say, sparring and stuff, do you have to like, move around, go out of state maybe to, get you some sparring work and all that?
Yeah, most of the time, yeah. Like when it's time for camp, I'm
Yeah.
out in Tampa, Florida, so I
Oh,
work
okay.
with guys out there out that way, and yeah, during times like these when I'm just like in between fights, we got a couple guys. I usually got to travel though. I'm the one traveling to different gyms to get to work, which is fine
Mm.
by me.
Um, when you're in camp, how long do your camps usually last you?
Um, Depending on when we get the date, like I'm supposed to know. I'm in talks with some people now to figure out what exactly is gonna be next, but I would say I spend about anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks. It's good
Okay.
enough. Like me, I'm always in shape. I'm always in great shape, so I don't need too long. But for me, like of course, it's more so like the mental preparation than the physical preparation. Like I said, today's Sunday. I just got home from the gym maybe about an hour and some change ago. Um, but yeah, like I said, we get a name and a date. About 6 weeks is all it takes for me.
Okay. I listened to your interview on, I think it was the
Boxing voice.
Boxing Voice,
Yeah.
and you know, I, hearing like the politics of like how you got to wait, you give a great performance, a performance where I feel like you could have, that fight was definitely yours, the Pacheco fight. I'm
Right.
talking, and like now it's like you gotta, it's like hard to get a fight. Hearing you talk that, man, I felt kind of like that's fucked up, man. Like if he would have gave a worse performance, then people be knocking. But he goes out there and shows that he got hard. He's about that life, and you can't get a fight. That's that man. That's what does that feel like to have to go through that?
Uh, I guess I can't really put it into words, but it doesn't surprise me necessarily because, like I said, even in the interview, we've seen fighters greater than me go through the same sort of things. Like they even have to build narratives of, oh, this guy had a bad performance just so that they can get somebody to finally pick their nuts up and be like, yeah, let's fight. But
Right.
it's one of those things where like I don't know if it's the fighters. I don't know if it's the people they got representing them, but at the end of the day, it's a business. People are looking to make money. People are looking to put money behind guys and make sure that they get a return on their investment. So it's shown me a lot as far as like how much business plays a role into the sport. It's not always about who's the best, and even the guys you see now, it's probably somebody out there who can knock them off right now. Like I said, like me, like you got a guy like me who I've shown myself to be able to compete at the world level, and you almost get froze out. So
Right.
what I've learned is that yeah, like if I ever find myself in that situation where I'm in a big fight against the quote unquote A side guy, like knock their head off, or make
Straight
it
up.
so decisive, yeah, make it so non-competitive and make the fight so decisive in your favor that there is no question, or even if they do give it to somebody else, even the public would be like, oh no, that was wrong. But to long story short, I will say, yeah, like business comes before boxing, at least, like the people who control the sport and the people whose hands like the sport is in right now and the direction they're taking it, they're putting the business before the boxing, and that's why we're
Yeah.
getting like such a lesser product now. People like wonder why boxing isn't the same as what it was even 20, 30, 40, 50 years ago. It's because the people who are, the businessmen are standing out in front of the fighters now. And yet some fighters have learned that they can stand behind their guys and use them to shield all the blowback that they get for not taking the fights that we want to see. So yeah, the business people are at the forefront of the sport versus the fighters being like doing their job as fighters and saying this is who I want to fight, make it happen, or the
Right.
fans being able to demand with their dollar, hey, we're not going to pay for this if it's not the fight we want to see. But yeah, like I said, all those things, these are all things that I've learned over the course, not only just from that last fight, but just over the course really of my entire career.
Does that make you like, has there ever been the thought like, man, F this? I'm like, I go do something else, man, because this ain't where it's at.
Uh, as a fighter, you get frustrated when you feel like you're being purposely overlooked or things of that nature. But I've had my down moments, of course. Like I said, and
Mhm.
even before this, like I've had situations where like the people who were behind me weren't doing the right thing or weren't following through on their promises and things of that nature. And of course, you get down, but you learn real fast when that date or that opponent gets named. Like how quickly that it turns. How quickly you go from like down here to up here. So I've just learned to keep myself somewhere in the middle, like with the
Right.
constant training and things of that nature. Because I know as long as I'm fighting, an opportunity is gonna come. I know, like
Right.
somebody gonna mess around and give you that opportunity again. So I've just learned to ignore that and just stay the course.
So you haven't fought since the Pacheco fight?
No, I haven't.
You know what? And I think I was talking to B about it, but like those things, it don't surprise me. Like no knock to you, it don't surprise me because, like I said, he speaks from a casual standpoint. I speak from actually knowing what that feels like. And when you go in there against like the A side, one of their top dogs, and you make him look like an average fighter,
Hmm.
it's no knock to him. It's all to the greatness of you because you're not like the other competitors he have went in there against. You're different. So,
Right.
needless to say, anybody who steps in the ring with Shawn is not going to have a great night. He's going like it's just certain fighters and certain styles don't mesh well with certain fighters, and it's hard to look good against a guy who's just of that caliber. You're not going to
Right.
always look good. That's with any fighter. AJ didn't look good against Ruiz. You know what I'm saying? Tank didn't look as good against Lamont. It's certain fighters you're not going to look good against. Benavides didn't look good against Vosnik. You know what I'm saying? It's certain fighters you're not going to look that great against. Pacheco didn't look good against Shawn. Does that mean Pacheco is not great? No, Pacheco is good. Does that mean Shawn is not as great, or where is he? No, Shawn is great as well.
Yeah, because that was your fight, Sean, all the way. Like I feel like, man, if you would have just stayed on the gas, you know what I'm
Right.
saying? There was no way in hell they were taking that from you. You know what I'm saying? Because that was your fight, man. Man,
Yeah.
But uh yeah, yeah, yeah. Like you were saying, it was your fight, and I watched the fight with open eyes because I'm like, when I heard you was fighting him, I was all the way locked in because I'm like, yo, that's the guy who I'm like, I always look at it like this. I'm like, that's the guy who I follow, but I don't know when the hell I started following this guy. I just know when I follow him, I always look at his posts.
Exactly.
I always, you know what I'm saying, like his posts because I'm saying like I see he's headed toward that position that I was in. And if he stay on it, he gonna continue to get these, you know what I'm saying, continue to get the right phone calls and he gonna continue to put himself where he, you know what I'm saying, where he
Where I
should be at.
belong.
Yeah. And with the performance against Pacheco, I know it wasn't your best performance. You ain't even got to tell me that. I know it wasn't your best performance. I know you can perform a whole lot better. So a L like that, look, trust me, I've been in those positions. It's never an L. It's only an L if you never learned from it and you go in there and
Right.
repeat the same damn thing. It's just a lesson.
Right.
These are all growth, you know what I'm saying? Growth steps. So grow a little bit above it, and your next fight you look a whole lot better, and you show the world that basically, look what the product y'all seeing in that Pacheco fight is not the finished product.
Right.
You ain't even see half of the finished product. So, but you have to get the right phone calls, and
Hmm.
being in the position that you're in, sometimes you will get the right phone calls, sometimes you won't. It's just them seeing your last performance and seeing how you competed. I'm not gonna lie. I don't call fighters scared, but they're a little bit a little iffy on taking that fight with you because they're like, it's a chance that my investment don't get knocked off,
Hmm.
and I'm not ready to cash in on them right now because I see big moves for me, with my investment, and Shawn just might knock this guy off.
Right.
So being in the position that you're in, I'm not gonna lie, it's a tough one, but with the
Hey,
right,
I feel like, I feel like I was made for it. Like me, life, one thing about life and, uh, I feel like my professional career has mirrored a bit of like the things I've learned and the lessons I've learned in my life is like, I got the tough road and I've learned to embrace that. The tough
right,
road, it teaches you that one, like you're capable without the machine or without favor or like people who are capable without favor. I feel like they are they're built tougher, and once they get something that's worth holding on to, it's very hard to take it away from them because
yeah,
Mhm.
definitely.
to have earned it the hard way is it's a different route. Like I said, when you earn it the hard way and somebody comes along that tries to take it from you that hasn't, yeah, they in for a long night, or they in for it's gonna be if you ain't got it the way that I did, if you haven't struggled as much as I have, or if you haven't fought as hard as I have to get to the same position, then it's gonna show. Like I said, when the bell ring, it's gonna show. So next
For
time
sure.
out, yeah, people gonna see that.
For sure. I want to take it on a light note, Sean. I seen you said won't feel like I made it until they put me in the undisputed game as a playable character.
Yeah.
So yo, what if I'm playing as Sean, what's gonna be my strengths and my weaknesses in the game?
Well, no weaknesses. We ain't gonna.
Okay.
They're gonna have
Okay,
to
no
work for
doubt.
that. They're gonna have to work to figure them out. But I will say, like I said, you gonna if somebody's controlling me, I feel like they have to like almost step into my mind a little bit. Like you got to be a
Mhm.
thinker. You got to calculate your moves. You got to
Okay.
think one or two steps ahead. For every move that you make, what's coming after that. And then
Mm.
after that one, and then after that one. So like I said, like a very cerebral person, like
Cerebral.
a thinker.
Okay.
Like almost like a chess player. I think like a chess player would be the best like comparison I can uh liken it to. So yeah, if you're working with me, think about like not what you're gonna do this very round. Think about what you're doing in this round that's going to set up something for, 2, 3 rounds after. It might be one little, a move here or a move there. It might be the one that leads into the finish.
Oh, okay. True that. True
Yeah.
that.
Okay, okay, okay. This come this is coming from the boxer's mind. Uh, in those deep waters when you was in there, I'm taking it back to the Pacheco fight, but in those deep waters, when you had the first, face a little bit of adversity, what was you thinking? What was going through your mind in what the seventh, eighth round in that fight?
Um, really, for me, it was more so like not keep my foot on the gas, or not so much like go, like push even harder than what I was doing. It was more so like, because I felt at times like he had some good moments. It was more so for me like, how do I earn back the momentum from the moments that he did have? Like I knew going into the fight that, of course, everything was swayed in his favor, like from a fan perspective, the judge's perspective, things of that nature. I knew he had some good moments, and for me, it was more so like, let me earn them back, or figure out a way to stifle, make sure he couldn't get anything off. So yeah, like for me, it was more so like sharpen up on defense, start to work on my jab a little bit more, things of that nature, like just to get back on track really, because and that's the thing about boxing is that there's ebbs and flows. If you're fighting a high level guy, of course he's went through a training camp too. He's worked just as hard as you have. He's done all the things. We've all done the same things for the most
Yeah,
part. Like boxing is one of them things where it ain't a million variations for the way that you can do any given thing. But yeah, so it was more so for me like get back on track, get sharpen back up, and uh, like I said, try to find ways to steal that momentum back from him.
Mm.
I got another question. I never asked no fighter this before. You know what I'm saying? But hey, I just always wondered that walk back to the dressing room. Once you went back to the dressing room after that Pacheco fight,
Hmm.
what was that feeling like?
I was pissed. I ain't gonna lie to you. I was pissed. I was not happy at all. Like I
Yeah,
hate
yeah,
losing.
yeah,
I hate losing. I don't care
yeah.
what it is. I hate losing. Yeah, like
Right.
I don't even like to lose my keys. I'm pissed if I lose my keys. So yeah, like losing is just one of those things. It just don't feel right. I feel like,
Right.
like some people some people can accept losing as as in like, okay, it happened, like there's nothing. I don't let me say this. I don't like the saying, "Oh, it just wasn't my night," or "It happens in boxing." Like that's not like a mantra I live by. If I'm in the ring and I've
Right.
spent weeks training and preparing specifically for one guy, like I should be able to get in there and do whatever I need to do to beat him. I've spent a month and a half focusing on one man, the good he does, the bad he does, and all those different things. So like, yeah, like I don't like to live by that mantra of, oh, it just wasn't my night, or it's boxing. Yeah, like I said, I was pissed.
Yeah,
Yeah, I cried. I let it all out, all that. Like
yeah.
like me, I'm
That's just that's exactly what I felt like my first L was against Kovalev. And if you really pay attention to the fight, when he dropped me with that body shot, as I'm down there, just like fighting to get back up, I just broke down in that moment because I knew that it's that moment I always wish for just slipped away. I started crying in that moment because I knew what the outcome was. And I started crying. It hurted so fucking bad. I started
right.
crying in that moment. The walk back to the dressing room, I'm still crying.
Mm.
The ride to the hospital, I'm still crying. You know what I'm saying? Like it just because I started younger than you, but me starting at that young age, and I only had in the amateurs, I had over 110 amateur fights. I only had 5 losses or
Hmm.
5 defeats or whatever. But to feel that at that stage, I feel like everything I worked so hard for just walked out of my reach. And that shit hurted so fucking bad.
Mm.
Like it took me a while. Honestly, if you can even ask my coach, it took me a while to even go back to the gym because I didn't want to show face in front of these people who I trained around for years
Nah, I can understand that.
because of it's just something that's I'm like, how do I go face that? And even when I went back, it was different. It was way different than what I thought. When I went back, they celebrated me like, "Yo, you did your thing," and you know what I'm saying, "Woo woo." But some things was left unsaid because the reason that fight turned out to be the way it turned out to be. But no, that shit hurted, man. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying, so that's why like that. I mean, I always wondered, but I never asked other fighters who go through that type of adversity, like what that felt like because people don't understand that walk back to the dressing room and that time when you're in the dressing room just and everything just because in the ring all the time it don't really hit you after the decision, but when you're in the dressing room and you feel like you're alone, everything just hits you. Bam! You just like,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, if you watch the fight all the way to the end when till they announce the decision, like when they announced him as the winner, you can actually see me like a smile on my face. It was more like I'm laughing about it, like wow, they really did that to me.
Wow.
Like it was more so like a feeling of disbelief at first.
Right.
It was like the 12 stage. I lived the 12 stages of grief in a
Wow.
30-minute window. Like yeah, like I said, first it was the whatever what the steps are, denial and
Right.
acceptance and blah blah blah. Like I feel like I went through it all, and just from that, getting out the ring, going down the steps, walking to the doctor to go talk to the doctor. Then when I finally had a quiet moment to myself, I'm like, damn, that really just happened. Like the reality finally set in. But
Right.
again, like I'll say, I know our situations are a little bit different just because like the nature of how the fights ended. But
Yeah,
yeah, for me it was like wow, like it's like soon as I get home, I'm back to work. Like for
yeah,
me it was like yeah, I got home and got right back to it because it was like I knew as soon as they announced him, like it was my fault. It wasn't so much that he won the fight; it was me. Like I did something wrong. I fucked up,
yeah,
and I'm like I'm ready. I'm eager to get back home and like work them kinks out. Because I like I said, I ain't even have to tell you. You just knew from watching and probably from seeing like what I've been posting lately and like the way I've carried myself since the fight that, like I said, wasn't my best performance. And I'm like, wow,
yeah,
like my 60% was better than his 100% because I know damn well he trained hard. He was fighting against an
yeah,
unknown guy, had all the momentum in the world, 9 fight knockout streak. Probably felt like all the pressure's on me to perform because who's this guy? And my 60% was better than whatever he put in for that camp. Like it tells you a lot. So for me, it was like, yeah, I lost, quote unquote, but that showed me like wow, like I have what it takes to compete against guys that they bill as up next or guys that they bill as the guys
yeah,
that got now. Like it showed me a lot. It taught me, like I said, it taught me a very valuable lesson. I haven't stopped to slow down very much at all since that year. Like I tailor, I rest a little bit here and there, but yeah, like I've been on some different shit lately. So yeah, like I said, I'm just ready for whenever that phone call does come. Like I said, don't look at my box rec and see inactive and think I've been sitting on the couch or slipping. It ain't been none of that. So
right.
yeah,
So so you came away from that fight. I mean, from the sounds of it, as a stronger fighter, I would say, huh?
yeah, I
Like,
think so. But I
hmm,
had to will myself to get there. Like a lot of guys, even if they lose a close fight, just I believe fighters, we all, no matter what our temperament is, like inside the ring, like you gotta be a little off to do this, like to willingly stand in there and
Hey,
engage in mutual combat.
that's what damn it, who was it? Lou Savarese.
Hmm.
He's an old heavyweight, you know what I'm saying? I used to always train around him. He used to own the gym with my trainer. That's what he told me. He say people think we're sane. He said boxers, in order to be a boxer, you got to be a little throw it off. There's got to be something wrong with you
Yeah,
not to
absolutely.
actually want to go in there and get punched.
hmm,
Something has to be wrong with you. And I was
Or
like,
to want to do that to somebody else.
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
cause physical harm on somebody and mean it. Because when you're in there, you're not like we're not playing patty cake. We're trying
Right.
to seriously hurt you.
right,
And enjoy it. Not only
Exactly.
mean it, but enjoy it. Like it put a smile on your face to hurt
Yeah.
somebody. Damn near
man.
if you can.
So yeah, no, definitely, man.
So, yo, I hear you kind of have an on and off relationship with the ice cream, man. What's your go to ice cream, bro?
It depends, but right now I will say lately I've been on this Bluebell. It's Dr. Pepper flavored. I found it funny enough. I found it at a movie theater, and then I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta have some more of this. I started looking for it everywhere in the store. So
Damn,
yeah,
Dr.
yeah. If you get
Pepper.
the chance, yeah, try that out. But yeah, I go between that and then Ben and Jerry's the strawberry cheesecake. Like them is my
Oh,
two
okay.
two favorite right now.
You haven't tried the wifey got me one of these creminis or something where you could make your own, you know what I'm saying? Like
Oh yeah,
uh
yeah, yeah.
yeah, man. I tried, man, but it just don't come out hitting like the real ice cream though.
You ain't got all the additives and the preservatives and chemicals and all that on hand. So, yeah, they put a little extra on top of that. If you really knew and you really seen the process from top to bottom, you'd probably be like, nah, this ain't it. I don't even want to eat it.
Straight up.
Look behind the curtain.
Word. What you got for him?
Oh, another question. Hey, how was that? Because when I really started to get eyeballs on you, know what I'm saying, how was that fight with what's his name,
Money
Money Power?
Pal.
Yeah,
Man, I was not like I won, but I
because he
wasn't
had like,
happy.
I think he had like one of those knockout of the year candidate type fights when
Hmm.
he knocked out a guy. You know what I'm saying? Hey, if you got to go back and go look at the fight. And then when I seen you fighting him, I was like, oh, hold up,
Hmm.
like,
He
and
turned. You
y'all
see,
fought
he
on
turned into a
OTX or something,
whole
huh?
nother fighter. Yeah, yeah, on OTX. It was the I want
Yeah.
to say it was the first like no, I think it was the second OTX card. But yeah, like you see, he turned into a completely different fighter. Like that's the thing about
Yeah.
me that a lot of these guys don't like, I think, is that they gonna like whatever you did before that made
You
you a
gotta
good
change the
fighter,
game.
you gonna have to change it all up. You're gonna have to prepare for something totally different. Like I said, I could box orthodox, southpaw, inside, outside, off the ropes, going forward, put the pressure on. Like I can do anything I need to. So he turned into a very different fighter. But yeah, I wasn't happy with that performance either. Like I feel like I'm just waiting for like the right guy to get in front of me to like paint that perfect like my magnus opus, as they say, like your my
Masterpiece.
Mona Lisa. Like I'm
Right.
waiting for that guy, the right guy, to get in front of me so I can really show the world like what I can do. It might be brutal, it might be quick, or it might whatever, however it goes. But I'm just waiting on the right guy to paint my masterpiece on. And yeah, I
What
thought it. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead, Sean. My bad. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like every time I get in the ring, like thinking that I'm getting ready to face like my biggest challenge, it's like always a dub for me. I'm always let down by these guys. I'm like
Mm,
hoping and praying, like man, let's put on like a classic. Let's put on like
right.
a fight that the world is gonna talk about for forever. I've been craving that since I was an amateur. I've yet to get in the ring and have a challenge that made me really feel like, damn, I had to work hard for that. Even the loss, it was like I took my foot off the pedal. It wasn't like, oh, this dude was whooping me and I really had to fight hard to get back into the fight, or like it was a super tough fight. He made me think more than I. It ain't been none of that. Like I just been
Mm,
waiting, like I said, the right guy to get in front of me to paint my masterpiece. I've been disappointed by everybody I fought so far though.
wow. What helped you to be? I wouldn't say helped you, but how did you go about getting to be the fighter who can fight all, back foot, front foot on the ropes? How do you get to be that type of fighter?
Practice. Like me,
Mm,
I'm all about mastering the basics. I
okay.
like I love to train like I slow things down to like their simplest term. Like this ain't algebra. Bring it to the simplest terms. Like me, if you want to learn how to fight orthodox, okay, turn orthodox and just walk around the ring. Spin rounds walking forward, spin rounds walking backwards, spin rounds walking to the right and to the left. Like do all the same things I would do as an orthodox guy, but just turn to the
Mm,
other side. Like one of my favorite fighters is Terrence Crawford. And even Andre Ward, like like back in his younger days, you see him like make the switch, turn southpaw. But like it was just something I always wanted to do. And then like as I started to actually get comfortable with it, I realized how much it benefited me even from an orthodox stance, just to have that much balance on both sides of my body to be able to do, both things from both sides. And yeah, like I said, it's just a matter of consistency. Like that's the thing about boxing that I love is that you can tell who's really dedicated to their craft over like a long drawn out span of time. It's not one of the things where you spend a week doing one thing and then you're instantly a master at it. Like you really have to break things down to the simplest way that you can break them down and do that over time, over years, not even 6 months, like years upon years upon years upon years of
right.
groundwork and working on the foundation. So for me, I would just say consistency. Consistency is the number one way to improve as a boxer. Like whatever it is you want to improve at, just do that one thing as simply as you can consistently.
Okay. What's your? Oh, go ahead, Sid.
No, I was going to ask. So thus far, you know what I'm saying, like, have you ever in the amateurs or in the professionals, have you ever worked with like any of your idols?
Not so much idols. I will say I've worked with like guys who like Sergey Kovalev. Like he's
Okay.
I owe him a lot because he well not owe him a lot, but I owe him a lot in the sense of like he helped me just like going out and spending a week in his training camp. That like really got me to where I am right now. Like
Right.
so maybe not so much idol, but somebody I definitely respected and watched a lot on the way up, and then he fought my favorite fighter twice. Um, yeah, so him and yeah, that's it. Because everybody else like that I could work with or have worked with, they're active guys like me who are in my weight class. I'm like, I ain't gonna call
Yeah.
you my idol. Like I'm trying to fight you.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, Sergey Kovalev is probably the closest thing I could even think of. Maybe him or yeah, yeah. That's really it as far as like idols or guys who would even qualify as an idol.
Right.
Yeah. I remember I got the chance to work with Roy Jones Jr.
Uh,
This was right when he was getting ready for that Jeff Lacey fight, and
oh
I
yeah.
worked with him. And I was coming off of a win of winning the fighting Daniel Judah, winning the WBC US NBC title. And my trainer called me up because Roy he was in Houston at Jay Prince gym, and he was like, "Yo, what you doing?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I doing? I'm chilling at home. We just got back from the victory." He was like, "Get ready." I was like, "Get ready for what?" He was like, "Roy Jones Jr. needs some work." Now he know how much I am saying. Like Roy was one of the guys who I watched coming up. Like when Roy took his first loss to Antonio Tarver, like I was in the Junior Olympics and I cried that night because I'm like, yo, like I want to put hands and feet on Antonio Tarver. That's
Ah
how
yeah,
hard.
I
That's
don't
how bad I
blame
was
you.
hurt. I mean, I cried. So when my trainer called me up, was like, "Yo, he needs some work." He was like, "Get ready." I said, "I'm ready." He said, "Man, you."
Right
I
now.
said, "Pull up." He pulled up, man. We went to Jay Prince Gym, and man, it was amazing. It was amazing. He respected me, and uh, now his entourage didn't, because your entourage is your entourage. So
Oh
you know
yeah.
they gonna clown the way they gonna clown. But
Right.
my trainer had to remind them. He said, "Hey, tell Roy don't get out of hand, because
They got that power.
said dude got power." You know what I'm saying? And this
Hmm.
was after because I also helped when Roy fought Danny Green. I was in Australia helping Danny Green get ready for the Roy Jones Jr. fight.
Ah, okay.
I was giving him those Roy looks, and he was successful in the first round against Roy. So, so, so you know what I'm saying. So nah, it felt great though. So that's all I wanted to ask. You know what I'm saying, because working with somebody that you watched growing up and you actually in there, and I'm not gonna like Roy. He was also famous for throwing that triple hook.
Right.
I ain't gonna lie.
He caught you with
No, he tried that shit on me.
it?
He didn't catch me with it. He tried. He tried.
Yeah.
Hey, he tried it on me. He tried. You know what I'm saying? It didn't go how he expected, but he tried. It was good work, man. You know what I'm saying? It was great work, man.
That's what's up.
I was also supposed to fight. What reminded me of that. I was also supposed to fight Andre Ward. This was after the Kovalev fight, though. I was also supposed to fight Andre Ward because Andre Ward moved up from super middle to light
Hmm.
heavy, and they wanted his first. Well, his team was looking at me to be his first fight, but due to due to some unforeseen circumstances, let's just say, the promoter tried to take a little more out the piggy bank than you know
Yeah,
what I'm saying
yeah,
what was on. So that fight, you know what I'm saying. It's just sad to say that fight didn't happen. You know what I mean,
Mm.
yeah.
What about that? What you think about that fight last night?
oh
Oh yeah,
man.
he showed saying he had to watch it. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah,
So
man. I mean,
Talk to me.
I've always thought Boots was that. But I'll say this, like, not to compare the two of them to the two that I'm gonna reference. It's like it was like the Crawford Spence fight for me. Like I figured the guy that I picked was gonna win, but I did not expect him to like whoop on him like that. I know Stan Jonas had only fought once in the last 3 years, but man, I don't think it would have made a difference that night. Like Jaron Ennis is one of them fighters where like when he's on, like there's not much you could do about it. Like he got to the point in the fight, he walking around with his hands down, he playing. Once he had found
Yeah.
his rhythm, it was over with. And
See, he's a
What?
boots maniac.
Oh, I wouldn't
You
call
know
it
what I'm
all
saying?
that.
So, uh, not gonna lie, I wasn't that sold on boots.
Ah, you see, let it
No,
tell.
I'm being
Look,
honest. I'm
and
being
that's
honest.
okay.
I wasn't that sold on Boots. But did he show me something different last night? Yes, he opened my eyes very wide. But he also made me raise down these glasses and I had to look. And I said, I saw a different Boots. And you know why I think I saw a different Boots?
why?
Because Boots previously was fighting under that IBF rehydration clause.
Yeah,
You're not able to rehydrate like you and feel great like you are supposed to.
right.
This last night he wasn't. So it
hmm
showed me that Boots is really not a 47 pounder.
I think that's what it
He,
is.
He's not a 47 pounder.
I don't think so either.
Nah, I don't think. I think it's not that. Said
No,
I'm
when you
telling you.
look, trust me,
See, but
man.
that's the
I've been
thing
in it.
though.
Hear me out. Hear me out.
Go ahead,
This
go
is
ahead,
what
go
he
ahead.
was saying. He needs someone in front of him to make that come out. You know what I'm? These other dudes, he's like, I just couldn't. He couldn't get out there and really stand the onus. I thought was going to give a better performance. I knew
Yeah,
Boots was going to take the L. I mean the win, but he just. I'm like, damn, you perfect Crawford, Errol.
yeah,
It was
Yeah,
like what happened? Like
yeah.
my thing was, why didn't Stanley Onis let his hands go? Like he's supposed to be this volume puncher,
No,
and
and it's the
just
speed
same thing we was
fast.
talking about with Shawn and Pacheco. When you in there with a different fighter, it makes you change your style up.
Yeah, you
It
got to come with
forces you
something
to think
different.
different.
There's no way. I mean, look for every one punch Stan Jonas threw, Boots answered back with three or four more to the
right,
head and to the body. Like he had
right,
no idea. I know there was at one point in the fight, Stan Jonas had like stepped in. Well, I think it was either like a hard right hand or hard left hook. It was one punch, and he way off balance, leaning over his front feet. He got caught with a counter uppercut, and from that point on in the fight, he decided like I'm either gonna be completely out away from him with my hands up and the tightest high guard I can create, or I'm gonna be as close to him as possible. Because at mid range, there's nobody in the division really at 47 or 54, if you ask me. Like at mid range, there's nobody who can see him in hand speed and like punch for punch. Like I don't think there's anybody punch for punch or like in speed or power that can match that. Like whether he'll
right.
beat everybody is one thing, but I'm just saying like physical gifts. I don't see anybody who matches him punch one, speed and power together, punch for punch at mid range. It's just like some guys are just talented like that. He seems
Yeah,
like one of them guys who was just born with it all, like a 2013 Adrian Broner. Like nobody could stand
yeah,
in front of him and take his take them punches. This dude could throw 5, 6 punches before he can get two off. It's just certain
yeah.
guys. You can't do nothing with guys like that.
Nah, I think Crawford would be able to stand there with him.
I don't think. See, that's the
You
thing.
don't
I
think?
don't think that would be his strategy though, because he's like, why play the young man's game? Terrence is not only is he experienced, but if you ask me, I think he punches harder, but experience wise, like he's smart enough to know going into that fight, like I'm not gonna stand mid range in a high guard and let you, poke and
Right,
prod until you find that,
right.
that clean shot that slips through. Like a smart fighter like him ain't gonna do that. Jerron
No,
Ennis knows that too. He knows going into a fight with Terrence, he can't fight the exact same way he's fought everybody else. It's a different level. This is a two-time
right.
undisputed champion, a top three, anywhere from 1 to 3, wherever you want to place them for the last 10 years. Like they both know that they would have to switch up what they do against each other and pull different tricks out their bag. I think they both could do it. Um, but yeah, Terrence ain't gonna stand in front of him and let
Who
him
you
get off
got?
like that.
Who would you get in that? Who would you take?
Oh man, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Come on, Sean. You gotta pick one, bro. You gotta pick one. Who
If I
you
gotta
got?
pick, I'm just gonna pick based off emotion right now. I'm gonna preface
Let's
this by saying I'm picking
go,
off of
go the
emotion,
smart way.
not because of
Okay.
how I think the fight's necessarily gonna go or whatever. But I'm picking
Okay.
Terrence. But that's just because he's
Thank
been
you.
Hey,
dominant for
smart
so
man,
long.
smart
Thank
man,
you. Thank you.
smart
Yeah.
man,
Thank you.
smart
Hey,
man.
hey,
I was gonna start to question your boxing ability if
Oh
you would have
nah
picked
nah
the
nah. I'm not picking nobody over Terrence. As far as like I said, like the IQ is too high, the power is there, the speed is there,
right.
everything is there.
For
He's
sure.
another one of those guys where like he's not going again he's not going to throw three lightning fast punches to your one, but he's such a smart guy and he's so good at like slowing you down and starting to just pick you apart and eventually he finds that like I said he either finds that one or like even in the Madrimov fight like he made that guy fight him at his pace. He made like even with all the bouncing around and all the fainting and all the jumping, like he knew like I got to do this for 12 rounds because the moment I stop moving, he's gonna start.
Yeah, I'm in trouble.
yeah,
Yeah, he gonna start holding me in place with
that's
one hand and coming back to the head and the body with the other.
definitely.
You worked in their camp, right? In one of the camps out there in
Yeah,
Omaha?
Terrence, Nebraska and Colorado are real close to each other. But yeah, he's been coming down to Colorado Springs for camps for
Mhm.
years since I think I want to say the very first. I mean, he's even like if you didn't know, his pro debut was here at Red and Jerry's in Denver, Colorado. So like the dude had his pro debut here in Colorado. He's got deep ties to Colorado. When he come here, he'd be at the Aurora Mall and all that, like the mall that the local people from here shop at and everything. But
Wow.
yeah, I've never worked with him, but I've worked with just about everybody he's ever brought down that was around my weight. I'm gonna start at the smallest and work my way up from the weight class. I worked with Maurice Hooker, Jesus Ramos, Rob Brandt, Jared Hurd, Steve Nelson, Bryant Jennings, uh, who else? Yeah, them is all the guys I can think of off the top of my head that you know. But yeah, I've worked with just about everybody they brought down who was close to my weight, or
Okay.
Mm.
never got the chance to work with Terrence. Unfortunately, I've been praying I praying I can get the opportunity
I
just to
bet.
see how I match up. But nah, I never got the
Yeah.
chance to work with him. I fought one of his fighters that they brought down to a amateur show back when we were still amateurs. Like I've known them that long. Like I've been going down in camps and working with their guys since I was an amateur, like getting ready for national golden gloves
Wow.
and things of that nature. Like I said, I fought one of his guys, first round knockout, um, back in the amateurs.
Wow.
So yeah, I known them guys for a real long time.
Shoot, before the world was giving him his flowers then.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like I want to say the first like camp I had gone down there for, and like I want to say it was either like one or two fights before the Gamboa fight, back when he was still at 35. So I've known him since he was fighting at 135. But
Wow.
yeah, like I said,
Well,
all the
with
way
him
up.
going, go ahead.
I was gonna say all the way up until the last camp of his that I like was up there at the gym that they were working at and all that was the Errol Spence fight. Funny enough, I met Willie Monroe and a few of the other guys that he had brought out there to work with. But yeah, from
Mm.
like the Gamboa fight all the way up until the Spence fight, I've been around them, seeing their camps, fighting their fighters, all that.
So yeah, with him going up to this 168, you might be able to get that work now, get in the sparring with him. You know what I'm saying?
Uh, he apparently he already got a guy in mind, a guy I want to get my hands on. Funny enough, but yeah, he's already got that situation worked out apparently. So
Nah, I
uh,
was just saying like get off in there, like help him with sparring and
nah, I
stuff
know what
like
you
that.
mean. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. I hear you, but yeah, I'm just being a little cryptic. One of the guys he said he's supposed to be bringing into his camp, or got in his camp that he's gonna work with for that fight is somebody I'm
Oh
looking at
yeah.
as a potential opponent. So yeah,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
yeah. I'll let
Yeah.
the internet do what they will with that information as they do. The internet detectives.
Yeah.
That people gonna get out there and get on their Googles. You know what I'm saying?
Immediately, yeah.
Researching a little researching. Let's
Hmm.
see who this next opponent might be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I hope everything works out because man, definitely want to see you back in the ring, man, and see you,
Yeah, I'll be
do
back.
your thing.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Definitely,
I done
definitely.
switched a few things up. from like I said, from like the boxing perspective as well as like the business. I'm a free agent now. Just made that move not too long ago, and got some new things in the works, new opportunities coming to me. So, like I said, I should be back very soon uh, with new team. Like I had tweeted not too long ago, same book, just a different chapter. Like I'm on the same
Okay.
thing. We got a few different variables that have changed. I think for the better. I'm hoping they work out for the better. But yeah, I'll be back real soon.
Is
Well,
Go ahead, say.
no, I was gonna say, well, what I mean with what you're doing and becoming a free agent, and I mean, there's only time at this point. It's only time, you know what I'm saying, before you get that phone call. But in boxing, is this thing, we call stay ready, so you ain't got to get ready. Just
Right.
make sure, you know what I'm saying, you got all the right puzzle pieces in place. And when that phone call come in, you know what I'm saying, hey, take advantage of the opportunity.
Absolutely. Yeah. As
But
soon
would
as
you
we
be
get,
in a Go ahead, Sean?
nah, I was just gonna say, as soon as we get off here, I'm on the treadmill getting my miles in. So,
Mm,
like I said, I work from sun up to sundown, push-ups, whether whatever it is. I'm working all day, all night.
that's what's up. So the free agency thing, what is that like? Like, so it's basically all in your hands now, right?
Well, yeah, like I said, I brought some new people in. Nothing is official like on paper yet, but
Hmm.
yeah, just from a management standpoint. So I'll say this: after the Pacheco fight, where my promoter they were in a situation where they felt like there was nothing more that they could do for me. There was no other like opportunities that they felt that they could make happen past that at the time. So we felt that it was best to split ways. And then now that I've been out of the ring for a year, I just growing frustrated over the years, over the course of a year of being out the ring and not feeling like the right opportunities are being brought to you. You feel like I can pick up the phone and answer if somebody wants to just bring me, short notice, B-side, low money fights. Like I can pick up the phone and do that for myself,
Straight up.
so yeah, like I went ahead and parted ways with my management as well. Like I said, I'm fostering some new relationships though, and they look to be promising so far. So like I said, I should be back in the ring real soon. Yeah, I don't think I don't think we'll make it out the summer without me stepping back into the ring.
Okay, cool.
Just
Sounds
make
good.
just make sure you stay on their ass though, man. 'Cause I'm saying, coming from a former fighter, I know
Right.
what it's like. I'm saying, especially sometimes you can go overlooked, and they're gonna keep overlooking you and keep overlooking you. But if you stay on their neck and then you letting them know that I'm out here, I'm
Right.
just a phone call away, I'm out here. And sometimes they might be even presenting you with opportunities that against opponents that you ain't been looking at. But no, no, no,
Hmm.
no, no, no. If I'm ready and I know that you give me enough time to bring in the right people for this opponent, I'm good. I'm good to go. That's all that matters. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, and that's where we're at now. It's like I've had a few names cross my desk, and like the probability of me fighting them next come with the names. We got some names, and like I said, the percentage probability of which fight may happen, and the highest one I feel like is the one. Like I said, it's one that people are going to be able to say, "Oh, this is a good one. This is against a name that we recognize and is quote unquote respected," or however you want to put it. But it's gonna be a fight. Like I'm not gonna come back and stay busy fight against a tomato can or nothing like that. Like I said, I ain't been out. I ain't been far from the gym. I ain't been far from camps. Like I was in camp with Joshua Buatsi back in August. Got to meet Virgil Hunter, which that was a super dope experience. But yeah, things like that they kept me motivated to just keep going. And right now, like I said, I could make weight really over the course of a day if I needed to, like just to give you an idea of like how serious I've been taking it, even with the
Yeah.
layoff. So, um, yeah, like I
So
said,
man,
when I'm,
Sean, we want that pre-fight interview and that post-fight interview
I
now,
got
bro.
you, I got you,
All
yeah,
right.
for sure.
Just I'm gonna tell my audience to make sure they follow you, make sure to be looking out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like I have been, and just
No, shout out your
your IG, your Twitter,
all that, yeah.
if you got what you call a TikTok,
Ticky
your
tack.
TikTok, you know what I'm saying? Any of your social media, just shout them out so people know what it, you know what I'm saying, what to look for you at, man.
Yeah, hit me. Yeah, if you follow me on Instagram, that's usually where I'm most active at theamazing.sm, TheAmazing.sm. Yeah, on Twitter at Shawn M5280. The Amazing Shawn McCalman on Facebook. The Amazing Shawn McCalman on TikTok. Wherever you can find me. Yeah, I appreciate y'all. Like I said, thanks again for having me on, and yeah, everybody keep their eyes peeled. We got some big things coming.